Hey everyone, Garbage here. Have you ever watched a trailer for a new video game and you just had this feeling in your gut that the game is going to fail? I think everybody's had this experience at least once before, and it's hard to pinpoint what exactly causes this feeling, but I tend to feel it most strongly when it's a new hero shooter type of game for whatever reason. Don't know what exactly is going on there. One thing that I do know, however, is that video game graphics are starting to get really good, especially with the recent release of Unreal Engine 5. It's now easier than ever for AAA and indie developers to make games with really beautiful high-end graphics. The technology has improved dramatically over the last decade. The one real sticking point, in my opinion, is the hardware and how quickly, or rather how slowly, people have been acquiring the hardware needed to support these high-end graphics. You might have noticed that up until recently, graphics cards and latest gen consoles were pretty hard to find. Thanks to the pandemic and crypto mining and supply chain issues, gaming hardware has been a bit on the pricey side. Thankfully, we're starting to see prices return back to normal, but a lot of people are still rocking their old gaming setups from 5 to 10 years ago because they couldn't justify the price of upgrading like they had planned. And so right now there's a bit of a gap where games are requiring more and more powerful hardware to run, but the number of people who actually have the hardware is much smaller than expected. And I think this is the reason why a lot of new games have been failing recently. The graphics are just too good and people can't run them. Of course, this has always been an issue. Improvements in graphics generally tend to outpace the hardware adoption rate. It's the "but can it run" crisis effect. But I feel like it's even more of an issue now thanks to the world circumstances we find ourselves in currently. I think this is a big part of the reason why Valorant has been so successful despite releasing during the global pandemic and subsequent chip shortage. The graphics were designed from the very beginning to run well on average hardware that people already had, rather than push the limits with high-end graphics, which meant more people were able to play the game and turn it into a successful esport. It's the same reason why older games like CSGO and League of Legends continue to thrive, because for a lot of people, they're the only games that can run on their current setups. I imagine this will change over the next couple of years as more people upgrade, but I think it's important for developers to keep the average gamer's hardware in mind when making their games, instead of just trying to make the best looking game possible. But what do you think? Can hardware make or break a game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe, and bell, links to my Twitter and everything else down below, and as always, have a nice day.